And everyone, welcome to your beautiful home. The mechanism on it is super smooth. Huh? Like, that was easy.
Hi, this is Jake Bautista and we'd like to welcome you to a one-of-a-kind, brand new MetroGuide Realty house tour. Today we are showcasing an avant-garde, Scandinavian, modern and brand new 5-bedroom house and lot for sale located here in Ayala, Alabang, Muntinlupa City. And to make this presentation even more special, we have a special co-host today, Miss Rian Ramos.
Yay! Hi, Jake. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
and
you for
hello
joining
also
us.
to all of the viewers of MetroGuide Realty. I'm so excited for today because this is my first ever collab house tour.
Okay, and we're so excited to have you here. This home was built by Excalibur Builders by Sergio Sijuco. So this house has such a stunning design. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at the facade right now. It has these natural African Tangile wooden eaves
Wow.
from the ground floor all the way to the 3rd level. And I'm sure you've also done tours before for your personal properties like your condos before, right?
Yeah, just my own.
Oh.
The house that I grew up in and the condo that I moved to.
Well, of course, this is on an entirely different scale. This property, let's go here over to the shade, by the way. This property, Rian, is about 800 to 900 square meters in terms of size, in terms of the floor area.
Wow.
And then the lot area is about 570 square meters. And let's take a look first here. The parking area, you have 2 entrance gates.
Nice.
So you can use this as a driveway. Of course, you have the load-bearing tiles over here. And of course, a carport area with these vehicles that we have here.
I find this like so spacious. Like I can imagine if you had like a birthday party or something like that, you can even put tables out here. But parang you
Yeah.
can fit 6 cars or even probably more if you even use the driveway. Like
Potentially, you can have 3 more cars that are right after each other here.
Yeah.
And then have these 3 cars over here. We have these vehicles because, of course, this is a luxury home and we want to make sure that we have cars that fit the type of house that we're showcasing. And
These are all my cars, by the way. These are my personal vehicles, and then one of them is my yaya's car. I'm just kidding.
So, in terms of, just to add on top of our discussion, this house is about 97 to 98% done. And we're following a strict schedule so that it's delivered with quality on time. But of course, we made sure to shoot this video because we wanted to make sure that this house reached our audience before Christmas.
Nice.
So there will be some parts here that are just going to have some final retouches. But of course, the house is essentially done. And now, let's head on in.
This is so exciting. I like how modern it looks without being stiff. Because all of the colors are like light, airy.
Yes, and I think what adds to that is this facade. This is travertine. So this is a classic luxury material that is used usually for different parts and the facade of luxury homes. It's a unique and very classy tile that actually also blends with different types of styles of house. You can have this in a very classic home. You can have this in a modern home, and it stands the test of time. That means even if this house is viewed in like 10 to 20 years, this will still look so elegant.
Yeah, unlike paint, you don't have to touch it up, diba? It's just like a beautiful natural stone and
Yes, maintenance and durability. So also the functionality. The house will always look so pristine. Okay, now let's head on.
it's a nice big wide front door.
And the ceiling height for the ground level is about 3 meters, and you have this massive solid narrow wood door. You know, just to give you a background on this door, it's about 450 kilograms. It took
Wow.
about 20 men to get this door here and
Goodness.
attached. So
So who's gonna open it? You or me?
please do the honors.
What's the
Rian.
weight on this again?
450 kilograms.
Okay, let's open this 50 kilogram door. And everyone, welcome to your beautiful home. The mechanism on it is super smooth. Huh? Like, that was easy.
I'm so excited to start touring this house, but as I mentioned before, this home was built by Excalibur Builders by Sergio Sijuco, who is the president of the company, and right now, he's here to welcome us into the home. So, welcome, Serge.
Hi Jake, hi Rian.
Hi! So nice to meet you, Sergio Sijuco of Excalibur Builders by Sergio Sijuco.
Yes, exactly, yes. So Jake, welcome back Rian. Nice to meet you, and thank you for touring my flagship showcase property for 2021.
Yeah. I think this is our third or fourth video together, right?
I believe so, yes.
So, it's always a treat if it's an Excalibur Builders home, and it's a home by Serge. And what can we expect as we tour this home?
Well Jake, what you can expect is a pleasant surprise, and I'd make my house do the talking. And maybe later we could talk.
Okay, well, after we tour the entire home, Rian, we're going to have a quick chat with Serge so that we can talk about how the home was built. And also, if you're watching this and you're liking this home already and you want to have a home like this built for you and your family, we'll also talk about that later. So, okay, so catch you later, Serge.
Bye Jake, bye Rian.
Bye!
Okay. So now let's talk about this living room.
All right. Well, first impressions, everything is, I'll just use a Tagalog word, maaliwalas. It's bright, it's airy, and then parang, you know, all the more because high ceiling right away, diba? So like the vibe is just so, there's so much natural light coming in, but I like what they did with the windows,
Yeah.
because I feel like any more glass, mainit na yung living room. No?
That's a great observation because when I was here early this morning, the house is oriented towards the west. But the east side of the property is on this side. And the way that the windows are slanted, they perfectly catch the morning light coming in. So anong nangyari, sobrang bright dito but hindi siya mainit at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also provides you privacy from the neighbors as well because of the angle.
It's
of
a
the
nice
windows.
balance of like the openness but private.
Yes, intelligently designed. And I think one of the things that I need to mention about this house, since we're already here, and I'm already beside here, is you have light automation throughout this entire property.
Oh, wow.
So, when I say light automation, you have a choice in terms of changing the color temperature of the lights.
Ooh.
So, for example, once you come in, mas prefer mo yung mas white light. You can adjust it to how white you want it, or kung gusto mas warm na light, or a blend in between. And at the same time, you can do that for all the rooms, all the major rooms in the house. And you can also include the automation of the floor-mounted air conditioning units for the entire living space and even the other areas.
I don't think people realize early on like what a big difference light makes. Like for me, there's a certain temperature of light na if it's too cool, for me masakit siya sa ulo. So I'm like a lover of like kind of warm but
Warmer.
not too warm also.
You can blend that perfectly with the lighting automation
Amazing.
for this house. So let's walk around a bit. So, exploring the living space.
Nice. It's such a nice and spacious living room. And ayun nga, it adds so much that it's a high ceiling. Even if you're not in this part though, this is a great height for a ceiling.
Yes, and in addition, this house is of course for sale in the market. And they already included this entire living room set. So this is from Beau Concept
Nice.
from Denmark, and you have Natuzzi from Italy. And that's all included already. Even the dining area is
Can I
already
sit?
furnished. Of
Can
course.
I experience the couch? This is so
Yes.
nice and comfy. I love it. I love these accent chairs. I think they're really pretty.
And of course, we get also the best furniture, so it matches as well the entire home. And of course, we can't talk about this living space without talking about this feature wall here on the other side. So come on guys, take a look. From this angle, if you're here on the other side. So what are your first impressions, especially of this feature wall here?
Well, personally, I am such a big fan of natural stone, and to have this much of I'm gonna say marble. I'm guessing it's marble. I don't know what kind, but I think it adds just so much. It has like a luxurious vibe. It makes the area look so much more luxe, no? Because it's shiny, and then with the warmth from the wood, parang it balances it out because it adds like a coolness to it.
Yes, that's exactly the intent with the design, having these massive Nara planks on both sides. So you have that elegant feel of the Volacas marble. So this is imported from Italy, and this was 4 massive slabs
Wow.
that they divided into 16 tiles. That's why if you take a look, especially at the top tile, the design of the slab is consistent across the 4 tiles.
Yeah,
That
you
means
can
that's
see,
one
like, the
huge,
veins.
yeah, that's one huge one huge slab before, and this looks fantastic, even especially in the evenings. So here's a quick shot of the entire living area in the evening. And now, let's explore the other areas. I also want to point out the ceiling. What do you think of, what are your impressions about the ceiling design and the entire feel of the ceiling area?
Well, yeah, well, I've been talking about how much I love the height of it, but the design itself also is really nice. Like, I like how there's so much wood in the house all throughout. There's like different kinds, but this looks consistent with the Nara.
Yeah, even the tone and the color
pillars.
of the wood is
Yeah.
consistent.
So
And-
I think that's nice. It just adds a little more something special, parang to look at when you're sitting in the living room.
Yes. Even this entire space is a great conversation piece na nga eh. Just talking about the entire space, and even looking out here, you have these vertical gardens that extend all the way to your patio and swimming pool area. And speaking of which,
Are we going out there?
yes. So let's take a quick look out here towards your patio and swimming pool space.
Wow.
Wow. It's like we went to a rainforest all of a sudden.
Oo nga eh. I like how parang it's homey, but
Yeah.
it also feels like you live in a resort.
Yes, it has that feel. Let me talk about the space and the materials. You have premium Italian tiles for the flooring here. You have Canadian birchwood for the roof design here. Of course, Spanish tiles all throughout. And I think what's so unique about this home is, what do you think of these vertical gardens that they have right here?
I love the kinds of plants that they chose because when you look on the side, you can see it's not all one vine, but it gives you the vibe that it's a vine continuously crawling all throughout the wall. Like, it's so full and lush
Yeah.
and relaxing. Diba? Parang it makes it so relaxing to have the water and so much greenery.
Yes. And, you know, talking about the vibe, in the evenings, of course, you can turn off these waterfalls, and you can have the bubble jets inside the pool, and it's also lighted in the evening. And this looks so chill. You can imagine having like a large table here and just having like a get together with family and
Yeah.
friends. And the vertical gardens extend all the way to the back of the house, even towards the side near the kitchen space. And I just want to very quickly show you one aspect of the house. We can go there over to the corner.
Okay.
Careful. So,
Okay, here.
since this is a real house tour, I just want to quickly show this space. If you take a look here, Rian, look at they made sure to even have the African Tamile eaves all the way to the back of the house. So even if you're here hanging out, having a party, you can still appreciate the architecture of the home from this angle. And for this area, they're even going to add some additional wooden cladding here to make the
Nice.
falls area look much more luxurious. And on the other end, you have an additional space here. It's a recreational space. You can put like additional tables there if you have a family gathering or what. Now that you're admiring the plants, by the
Yeah.
way, these are very low maintenance. They don't need a lot of watering. So if your worry is baka bigla silang maging brown na pagtagal, no, they're very easy to maintain. They really chose high quality plants. And you know, even the small detail of having a pattern,
Yeah.
like there's a different color for the,
Para may contrasting. Even with the plants, no, they're
Yeah.
thinking about the colors and the flow, the contrast here.
so let's head on over here.
Can I just say one last thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the pool? I love that it's a partially covered pool because some people have preferences talaga. I like being in the sun. Some people avoid it like a plague. So to have the option of like being in the sun and lounge around, because some pools in some homes, like they're completely exposed,
Yeah.
or some naman are completely
Completely
covered.
covered.
But here, I feel like this is the best of both worlds.
Yes, exactly.
And having the waterfall, like I know like pools usually come with jets and people like to make tapat. You know, they're like, oh yeah, it's like a massage. But no, that's like a massage.
Yeah, because I'm sure you visited like a waterfalls in real life already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you can have that in your own home.
I love
So,
that.
Careful. And here's an additional aspect of the home, Rian. They made sure to have these pavers or these stone steps all the way to the side of the house, and they have this. So for easy maintenance, this is also AstroTurf. So this is high quality artificial grass,
Nice.
so that you don't have a problem with the grass dying out or
Yeah,
what. But
yeah.
it looks evergreen, and it's a great view from your living area and your patio space.
Those bigger plants in the back, those are, I mean in the front.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're in the back. Those are super beautiful also.
Yes.
I really like their choice in what plants they chose.
Yeah, and I'm sure for the plantitos and plantitas out there, you will be able to identify a lot of the plants here in the garden space.
Me living in a condo, I don't know. But they're gorgeous.
Yes, let's head on in. So from this perspective, you can appreciate the size and space of the patio area. Like in terms of as an additional amenity space, if you, for example, because of the pandemic, people are lessening their travel, but you
Yeah.
want an area where you can just relax.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like having some friends over in a space like this?
Super, super. You know, I love that we're here in Alabang because I grew up here and, you know, I know this village. I love this village. It's a really relaxing place, but I moved away. But now that, you know, we're more like advanced with our technology, you can actually work from anywhere now.
Yeah.
So to be in a place that's like this relaxing, but you can also work from home and everything, I feel like that's a dream.
Okay, and I think a lot of our viewers would also love to have a home like this. But we're not done yet. We're just getting started. And let's head back in towards the main living area.
These sliding doors have a really good mechanism also, no?
These are quality UPVC windows, by the way. That's all throughout the entire house. And you have these solid screens.
In case you want to keep it open.
If you have like pets, this is very durable against your fur babies. And you also have, since we're already here, I just want to point out the flooring is Calcutta stone from Italy.
Wow.
So these are Italian tiles, and you see how large the format is. Usually, sometimes for most homes, it's half of this, and the size
That's true.
also gives you a more elegant feel for the entire space. And now let's head on over towards the dining area.
There are really parts of this house that feel like a hotel. Like, you know, like with the size and everything and how, ayun nga, the luxurious vibe.
Dun mo nga makikita yung difference of the term like prime versus luxe. Yung luxe talaga, even especially in the evening when you see this house at the dusk time or sunset time, yung parang hinihintay mo na lang na may lumabas na 5-star na chef dahil doon sa feel ng entire space.
Tapos may dadaan massage, sir.
So this house is really for the people who want the best of everything talaga. And that's what this house provides. So let's head on over here. Of course, I can't go without talking about this ceiling. If you pull out, by the way, you can see that this ceiling is solid Nara wood, which extends all the way from the main door all the way to the dining area.
Yeah.
So this gives you a feeling of cohesiveness as well from the Nara door all the way here, while you still have all that elegance of the marble for the flooring and then the feature wall. So how would you how do you feel about this entire space? It's such a wide hallway actually.
It is. It's a very wide hallway. Parang, actually, I feel like, is it the same upstairs? I can't wait to see upstairs because you can see na parang this is, like when you go up, this is probably also the width of the hallway upstairs.
Yes, we'll have a surprise for you once we go upstairs.
Yay!
There. So let's head on here. Come on, guys. And accessibility and functionality wise, you have this additional sliding door here. So if you need to bring out like food from your kitchen area, your dining area straight here, you have a barbecue or something.
Perfect.
Fast access.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go. So here you have your formal dining space. So mahogany dining table. You have these drop lights, gorgeous drop lights from Natuzzi, and of course you have like a double cove light for the ceiling area. Grabe, this has such a different vibe. It's consistent, but at the same time it has a different feel for the room and a different character.
Yeah, mas formal nga yung vibe dito.
Yeah, I can imagine having like even business meetings here, but of course also family gatherings. And check out, they even made sure to have, this has an aircon, but they made sure to have additional cladding so that it's just additional wood covering so that you have that entire wood element all throughout the entire house.
Right. I actually really like the super classy way that they did that, because I've seen how other people have tried to hide air conditioning units and everything. And iba-iba talaga. Like sometimes it's like, yung parang I know it's there. But here kasi, because of all the wood in the rest of the house, parang it just feels like part of the design.
Yeah, it's a fit. And also it blends well. Especially you have this elegant furniture once again. Here you have this table. You can use this as a buffet table actually.
Yeah, the buffet table, I like this. This is super nice. I think the doors are really beautiful.
Yes, so, and now from your dining space, you have your main kitchen.
This is like one of my favorite parts in any home. Like I love looking at kitchens.
Do you cook a lot or like in your own home? Like for example, or more of take out or dine dining out?
Well, my entire family, we all love food. We like our bonding is really like based on food and eating
Okay.
times a lot. So I do know how to cook. I don't get to do it often because I live alone, and sometimes like cooking for one is kind of boring. So, but if you live in a house like this, I'm sure entertaining is one of the things that you would want to do. And it's a nice balance of like being open because the doorway is so large. It's like open but also kind of enclosed. And because I like kitchen so much, sorry, I'm talking so
Go,
much.
go.
Because I like kitchen so much, I can see like how functional this entire space is. You could be chopping something on this counter and then just turn around and put it on the stove. Everything is here. You know, parang the way they configured like the cooking space and then like the storage space is, you know, maganda yung flow.
Yes, very functional. And you were right about it having that good blend of being separated. It's not a completely open kitchen.
Yeah.
But like I said, the house is about 98% complete, so we are going to have a sliding door here actually.
Nice option.
If you want to have complete separation, especially if you have like a gathering here that's very private.
Yeah.
And in terms of the finishes, all the cabinetry is modular cabinetry from Austria, and then you also have quartz from Israel for the countertops here. Of course, all the kitchen appliances are already included, like wine chiller. Are you a wine drinker or?
Not so much, no, but I mean, you
Yeah.
need that. It's nice to pair with different kinds of food.
Yes, even if you're, for example, you don't drink but you have guests who do, sometimes it's good to have something like that ready for guests or get-togethers. You also have a different beverage chiller, and then a different, of course, the main refrigerator here.
Nice.
You already have the range hood, and then an Elba branded microwave oven, and even a cooktop already here. So very functional, even for your cutlery. They have small details. These are already built
Nice.
in, right? So details like that, and then soft close na rin siya.
Of course.
And on the other side here, they have even
Oh,
stainless steel.
I like that.
So
I like how much thought they put into letting the light into every room because like I said, the living room was super bright, but I mean above here we have the windows, and then even on the side that connects to the hallway there's like another window part there.
Like, I'm glad that you're talking about these windows because these give you a sense of height in terms of the ceiling. It also lends a lot of light to the entire room. And you were talking about that window over there on the other side. Let me just point it out.
Yeah.
This gives you access to the ambient light coming from the hallway, the patio space, and even the living area.
Yeah.
Instead of having the whole kitchen feel enclosed, you still feel it's so much part of all the other areas of the house. And here's a nice treat, guys. If you take a look here, Rian, what do you notice here in this window?
All the plants outside. Ayun nga eh, they really covered like the entire, you know, the outer
Perimeter
part.
halos ng house. So, when even if you're doing your cooking here, you still have that relaxed vibe. When you look here, you see that greenery. When you look out there, you can still see the greenery from the main dining space.
Guys, malaking bagay yan because ako, I live in a condo, so I like do my own dishes and everything, and it just means so much when you're looking at something. You know, like when you're facing a wall, you're like, I'm sad doing chores. But like, I would totally, I don't know, I like doing my own chores so.
Yeah, it has a very outdoor vibe as well. While of course you have a very cool atmosphere here, courtesy of a very conveniently and elegantly hidden split type air conditioning unit
Diba?
here.
Ang galing. It's so flush.
Naka-built-in na talaga siya. And here very quickly, of course, you have a service area, additional storage here, and then you have already an additional built-in range hood, cooktop here for service, and since I mentioned, Rian, like how important for you are the service areas also for a house?
Oh, it's super important. It's super important. I mean, first of all, like for people that don't really cook themselves, like this is where the real cooking happens. Like, so it's it's
Yeah.
important that it's like also a functional space. There's so much storage also on this side.
Yes. And
Some people call it a dirty kitchen, but this does not look any kind of dirty to me.
yes, and just to add, the entire side of the house, we won't explore that anymore because we're finishing up construction here over the next couple of weeks. But you have an entire laundry space at the side of the house. You have a spacious staff quarters that can fit 2 to 3 people with its own bathroom.
Love that.
You also have a driver's quarters that has also its own bathroom area, and you also have the vertical gardens extending even here to the side of the service area.
So everyone can enjoy it talaga.
Yeah, so we can show it right now, but if you are interested in this home, we would love to tour you in person, of course. Okay, let's head back in.
All right. So much storage space.
Yes.
Love storage space. I'm a hoarder.
And ang maganda din kasi is the way that they designed it is the colors that they chose, the lighting that they chose, it's complementary. Because for example, there's a temptation sometimes in designing a house to make every part uniform. Like pare-pareho na talaga yung materials,
Yeah.
pare-pareho na yung look. But for this house, every single room has its own character,
Yeah.
but they all feel like they're part of a family.
Yes. I did notice that.
Okay, so let's head on out. Yeah,
Nice.
so
I just
even
wanted to
here-
feel that texture because like when you light it, the way it's lit kasi like you can really appreciate like all the little ridges.
na maximize yung material that they used with the lighting so it works together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Napahawak talaga. Sorry.
So now, Rian, let's head on over towards the first rooms in the house here at the front. So right now, I can't go without saying this is the elevator which takes you all the way to the 3rd floor. So that makes the house future-proof, especially if you have senior family members who have difficulty going up and down the stairs. This can easily fit 2 to 3 people. And they made sure na talagang meron siyang Nara
Yeah.
cladding around it talaga to just give it an elegant vibe, diba? So,
You can't ignore when a house has an elevator in it. You really can't like. And ayun nga, I like this for the purpose of ayun nga, if you have like senior family members visiting or living in the house, that's
Exactly.
that's awesome. But also like me, when I go to work, I bring a lot of stuff. Like I have shoes and clothes and everything. And when you're going from the closet to to the car and everything, I feel like that's so convenient.
okay. So talagang additional convenience. And you're right, having an elevator can make this a generational home. You can have like 3 generations in a single home and there's space enough for everyone. And you'll see that later. So, and here you have your first room.
Let's open it up.
Okay.
Here we go.
Whoa. Okay, so you can consider this room, Rian, like as a den space because in the ground floor you can maximize this as a just an additional family room. But it has its own toilet and bath, so you can use it as a bedroom talaga. That's why we consider this the first room. So
It could be a bedroom, a guest room, an office, or any of those things, right?
how would you use this room?
Ako, personally, either guest room or office.
I see. For like work from home space, right?
Yeah.
And it's also a corner room, so that's why you have these massive windows here. Sobrang well lit. Even if we turn off the lights, it's going to be the same lighting for the entire room. And once again, you have that natural Nara for the ceiling.
What a nice accent, because parang you wouldn't even think, just because like the master's bedroom and all of those other rooms are going to be upstairs, that I wasn't expecting that they'll put something extra special pa here, but it's nice.
And it's not even the basic cove lighting that you have that's just around, di ba? Ito talagang may 2 strips pa siya and sa gitna niya nilagay. And if you want to make this a bedroom, you can have your bed here kasi. And you have that view of the wood na pag ganun, di ba?
Yeah.
And of course, you have your bath area here. Yeah. So, in terms of the materials,
Can I take a peek? Nice.
yeah.
That's a full bathroom.
It's clean, functional, very minimalist, but of course the materials are Toto for the fixtures and the hands Grohe for the bath area. And of course totally tiled there. Very clean and modern.
Very quality fixture.
Yes, because sometimes it becomes too ostentatious. Nagiging it doesn't fit with the aesthetic na. Especially with this house having like a Scandinavian theme. For the more Nordic countries, they're very focused on just being essentialists, meaning they just focus on the most important parts of life and having a beautiful surrounding, but not having like a million things around the house, diba?
Oh, there are those beautiful big plants that I was talking about earlier.
There, so
You can really appreciate all of that because the windows are so big.
yeah, and you also have a view of even yung AstroTurf even through the side. And now let's head on out. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And of course here, yan we have your powder room upon entering the house.
For all of your guests.
For your guests.
I like how it's lit.
And also, I want to point out, I think we missed this kanina, but I just can't go without saying this door is like almost 1,000 pounds, right? But this is a small detail, but I want to show this quickly. Look at how massive this door is.
And it's not hollow, ha? This is not a hollow door. This is like a full, like, wood.
Full-on talagang solid main door talaga. So,
It's thick, but I mean, you saw naman how I opened that in the beginning of this video. I just like easily pushed it and
yeah, they have a specially built hinge here so that despite of the weight, it opens and closes very easily rin naman. So, okay. And now I think it's time for us to head on over to the second level of this home.
yeah, so excited for this part.
How was it so far? How's the house tour been so far?
I love it. I love how much open space there is in this house. And in general, like, this is something I learned to appreciate when I moved to a condo. There is so much natural light. The windows are really, really big. And yeah, I really appreciate that part.
Especially, you see the difference between like a condo or like a landed home like this.
Yeah,
talaga, no?
yeah.
So, speaking of which, there's a small detail here that I like to point out. If we step back first here,
Okay.
and then once you step here, what you see here is it's a sensor.
Ah,
It
in that
senses
little
if there's
corner.
someone here, and that turns on the light.
I saw that. It just blinked.
Yeah, and then if lumayo tayo, it turns off. And then, pag nasense na there's a person here, it turns on. So you
Excellent.
don't have, kasi a staircase isn't really like a main feature for this home, but they have that convenience and they even made sure to have this additional cove lighting for the staircase. So, let's go. So, very senior friendly, very convenient. I think this is the first house tour that we've done wherein meron talagang cove lighting for underneath the stairs, ha?
Yeah.
Have you seen any houses?
No, I've never seen that ever.
So, this adds to the whole luxe feel.
They really put so much thought into the light, no?
And you're welcomed by a grand second floor family hallway space.
Sabi ko na nga ba, it was gonna be so huge. Like, you know what? It's bigger than what I imagined when we were standing under it. It feels so much bigger.
Yes, and of course, this makes this entire space not just a living area, because this is spacious enough to have like a living room set right here in the middle, right?
That's true, yeah.
And at the same time, you have all that light and ventilation because you have a great view of your living area down there.
Hello, guests. Hello, visitors.
And then your family members can, for example, be up here, but you can have like a different function down there. So there's so much that you can do to maximize the space. And this level, the second level, has 4 rooms. We're gonna take a look first at the west side of the property, the west wing. of
The West Wing.
The west wing, because yung later is the east wing. We have 2 rooms here. So let's take a look here at the first room.
All right, pick a door.
Let's take a look at this one. Okay.
Ooh, good amount of space.
Yes, it's a square-shaped room, and the first thing I notice is the ceiling. Look at how elegant the ceiling design is here. You have like a triple cove ceiling.
Again, they added another point of interest, which is nice. But in a different way from the room downstairs. So parang there's like something to look forward to.
And that's another thing that you...
balcony.
Of course, you have a... But of course, this is a balcony that connects the 2 west wing rooms.
Yeah.
It's a shared balcony. We'll take a look at it out there in the next room. But that adds to the facade of the house. At the same time, that's why you have this massive sliding door and window. So you have that impressive facade for the house. So,
I love how it's just like, it's floor to ceiling, you know, it's really like big and luxurious and
yeah. And,
hotel talaga.
and you can imagine having those large blackout curtains. Now, if you just want to relax, you can close them up, and you want the afternoon sun, you have the sunset here. So you have the beautiful sunset on this side. And then sa mornings naman, it's quite cool kasi you have the sun on the other side of the house. So that's how you maximize then the positioning of the windows and the rooms.
This is where you see the sunset.
Yes, yes. Kasi west talaga tong area na to eh. So, and of course, you have your air cons already included. And once again, you have your lighting automation for the room. So you can build in, once again, the automation. You can have a setting here. That's why you have these buttons. These are potentially 6 settings. So you have different combinations. Setting 1 can be aircon off and then bright lights. Setting 2 can be aircon on and then dim lights.
You know what, if that's probably like your different preferences for different times of the day.
Yes.
Like, it's like, okay, this is my wake up
Yes,
vibe.
so
This is my going to sleep vibe. This is my...
yeah. So talagang you can have that different setting per occupant, per room for the home.
I love it.
So-
It's so personalized.
So
These are nice floors, by the way.
yes, and of course you have the solid narrow wood all throughout the entire second level of the house, even all the way to the 3rd levels. And of course you have your bath area.
Restroom. Oh, this is a pretty spacious restroom.
Okay. So once again, you have a Toto branded water closet here, and on the other side, were you surprised by something?
Yeah, I was super caught by surprise with how big the closet
The walk-in
is.
closet is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can I open this more?
Yeah. Pwede mo yan i-take all the way there.
Wow! You know what? Happy na ako with this amount of closet space. Like, this is okay na for me.
Well, we have a surprise for you later sa master bedroom. But once again, you have this modular cabinetry from Austria, and that's consistent also with the quality that you see in the main kitchen also. So
And it goes so well with the kind of tile that they chose for the walls.
and you have a darker tile for the flooring so that you have that contrast.
And hindi siya mukhang madulas.
Oh, of
Like,
course,
the
of course.
textures.
Yes, which is very important.
Wow, I can't believe how much closet space there was. I was like, oh, what a nice sized bathroom. It's like nice and spacious, and then when I turn around,
Yeah. Talagang na-maximize nila all the way there to the front of the house.
and what I like about that, like keeping that separate, is your room will look so neat and so,
Yes.
diba?
Bec-
It'll keep it like minimal kind of looking.
And you can focus on just your essentials like your bed, your entertainment system. Kasi di ba usually, kapag hindi na pag-isipan yung walk-in closet space, bigla na lang napapabili ka ng sobrang daming cabinet around your
and then parang ang
room.
liit na tuloy ng room mo.
Exactly. So, let's go. And now we're taking a look at the second West Wing room.
Oh, iba na naman yung ceiling.
Wow, so this is a different vibe again. This feels even higher, though the ceiling height is essentially the same, about 3 meters. But wow, this feels so grand.
Yeah, no? So spacious.
And
Even the balcony on this side is a little more spacious.
of course. So let's step out quickly so that you can see the size, guys. There.
Wow.
You're right, this is a bigger space and it's connected to the first room that we took a look at earlier. And of course, right now we're shooting this at 2 p.m. That's why we have all this sun here.
Downward light.
Yeah, but if you take a look here, I love how they have this, the natural wood still all throughout here.
Yeah.
And even wrapping all the way to that side,
Oh
right?
wow, I just noticed that now. I didn't see that a while ago. But yeah, that's a great detail.
Yeah, and in the evenings, it feels so elegant and warm. And just an additional lounge space. Even in the early mornings, this is a very private part of Ayala Alabang, by the way. So this is not a busy street. So even if you have like a lounge table here, no one will bother you. Okay, let's go. Okay. And of course, you have your bath area here.
Can I go inside again?
Yes. I think it has this also has a walk-in closet space.
Yeah.
But of course, it's spacious also, but the last room is slightly bigger.
A lot of shelving for your mga bath stuff.
Oh, even having those recessed areas for toiletries, that takes a certain amount of thought into the design. And by the way, yung thing that you notice about these two rooms, the other room has a bigger closet, but this room naman has the bigger balcony.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So in a way, no one's a loser or a winner. It's really more of like what your preference is.
Yes, may kanya-kanyang strengths yung every room.
Yeah.
The rooms don't feel like a cookie cutter vibe na parang inulit-ulit lang yung design and sizes, di ba?
I'm really enjoying also how every time we enter another room, it's a different kind of ceiling. I just really appreciate that part of the design. Like it's not repetitive.
Well, I think you love especially the next room that we're gonna take a look at.
Iba na naman ba yung ceiling dyan?
More than that. So let's go. So here's another view of the hallway space kasi we were coming from the other side kanina. From this angle, talagang makikita mo yung size talaga nung hallway eh.
Yeah, diba? I can't even reach it. It's so hard.
So, and there's so much potential here in terms of additional interior design, furniture, arrangement. So it's up to you. For whoever is going to get this home, please go crazy with this area. There's so much you can do.
Happy for you, whoever you are.
And so this is the fourth room, Rian. And you were telling me kanina that you felt that every room had a different story.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to see what you think about this room.
So this is a different ceiling again, I guess. No! Whoa, wait, what? What? Okay, so it's a bedroom na loft?
It's a loft room basically. So what's nice is there are entire condo units that have this layout, right?
Yeah.
And you have it in your home. So this is perfect, especially if you have a family member who this is even great if you have a family member who already has a small family, but they don't want to like move out yet. So you can have essentially 2 beds here. You can have a bed here, another bed upstairs.
You can have a bed there, like a living area here, or
Yeah,
What?
yes, pwede mo maging lounge entertainment space. But you can make this an additional amenity space.
ang swerte naman ng tao na to. Sino ba to? The favorite. Joke lang.
So we were saying,
In my family, we would fight over this room.
yeah. So once again, you have the all natural wood here, and this is such a unique feature having this floating staircase. So they have a steel beam here, and then they wrapped it in the Nara.
Wow.
So this is very sturdy and very intelligently designed. You were saying, like, very important yung safety, di ba?
Yeah, because, well, it's nice that it's a floating staircase, so it keeps it very modern and everything, but it's also very safe because they have the glass there that on the banister. So there's no falling.
Yes. And even the space in between the steps, you can fit, like, even if you have pets or like a small dog, hindi siya kasya dyan.
That's true.
So-
Oh wow, they think of everyone.
Yeah, and another small detail, Rian, nung when I went in here, I thought like a faucet was turned on or what, pero narinig ko, you can hear the waterfalls in the pool area from here.
Yeah, but it's like
It's very gentle,
Yeah.
very gentle. Hindi naman faucet, like, it feels very natural nga. Parang may stream nga outside.
Yeah, you can hear the trickling water.
Yeah. You can even have a view of the vertical gardens from here. Okay.
So your son or daughter could have a swimming lesson downstairs, and you're like, hi.
Yes, from your additional amenity area. Kung min-maximize mo pa to. And of course, you have an ensuite bathroom here.
Okay.
Let me open it up. Yeah. From here talagang mas rinig mo talaga yung pool area.
Because the window here is open also.
Yeah. And then you also have a built-in closet space
Closet.
here on the other side.
But the difference is, parang this time they chose to do sliding na because, you know, for the space and everything.
And there's even an automatic light there pag binuksan mo.
Oh yeah, tada! It's lit.
Oo. And it closes, syempre, when you close it, and you know, small details like this one, Rian, even the plug right beside you, they have that special plug that when yung plug kasi sa tabi ng faucet, kapag nabasa siya, it automatically turns off the voltage, the
Oh,
electricity
good.
there. So that's for increased safety.
So many safety protocols.
Yes. So, like, even the railings heading up, di ba sometimes, it's just the, the tempered glass dito, they have a very sturdy handle pa. So, let's head on up, guys. Jay's over here. Welcome to the loft area.
Wow! What a fun room to have. Oh my gosh.
And this was set up to be, you can make the downstairs area the bedroom area and then make this the amenity space, or reverse.
And may abang na dito for TV.
Yes, you'll have that TV over here. You can have the bed pa ganito.
Yeah.
I think medyo malayo kasi kung doon. Dito, it's just right yung distance.
You know, all the more I feel like I'm in a resort. Like every time we enter another room, I'm like, wow, it feels relaxing. It feels like a resort or a hotel. Like I'm just imagining the layout also. It's just so nice.
And this adds more to what you were saying na every room has a different vibe, di ba?
Yeah.
Lalo na this room, talagang even the functionality is completely different na rin, di ba? And they made sure to just have a walk-in closet space here.
Nice.
So talagang they thought of everything. They're going to be installing an air conditioning unit here also. So like within the next few days. Just in case you're wondering kasi may wiring dito eh. So, okay. And by the way, they also have a provision here for cable if you want to have your TV naman on this side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really
Nice,
up
no?
to you, whatever your preference is.
Grabe, sobrang daming possibilities. By the way, Rian, I almost failed to mention here, you once again have that lighting automation
Yeah.
for this room as well. So you can have different settings along with the aircon. And you have a LAN provision, by the way, already for the rooms.
You know what I've noticed, like all throughout the entire house? So many power outlets, which like it solves so many problems already because you can really choose like where to put your furniture, the tables or side tables or anything. I hate when a place is kulang sa power outlet.
Isa lang sa isang site, tapos biglang ang dami mong extensions. And then it
Yeah.
sometimes even constrains yung organization ng mga furniture mo, diba? So, yeah, I think here every 5 to 6 feet there's one.
Exactly, like even in the hallways, the living spaces everywhere.
Yes, and these are heavy duty sockets already. And even the color, they made sure, usually di ba white?
Yeah.
So they made it like even like a dark gray one. It even blends well with the color scheme of the
Yeah,
entire
it goes
room.
with the windows or
Yeah.
with the accent on the doors.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, nice.
And now, of course, for the main event here in the second level.
Ah, so wala pa to? Wala pa to?
Wala
Oh my
pa.
goodness, you're just
So-
warming up?
So here we have your master bedroom.
Whoa. Oh, it doesn't stop.
The features don't stop.
Oh my goodness, it's that gift that keeps on giving. Daming nangyayari. Wow.
Ang daming nangyayari dun
So
sa-
there's the high ceiling, and then once again, this is another shape. It's like, you know, it reminds me of a resort that I went to in Thailand, actually.
Yeah, that's because of the vaulted ceiling. This is
Yeah.
an avant-garde design. It's very modern, at the same time it feels very timeless. And you have that natural wood, but you have that dark accent. These lights have 3 levels. So if I turn everything off, you see you can turn on just the outer lights, or I can turn on the cove naman, and then there's a third set pa.
It doesn't just turn on and off, it fades in and out.
Yes, that's a special kind of light also. I'll turn it off again. Take a look, guys, at how smoothly it turns on.
Nice. I like that.
I love that part. So, and of course, like you were saying, this is Italian tile once again. This is just one, two, these are just 4 pieces. And you have that additional cladding on the side. You can have your television set here. You already have the space is so huge, you need to have a floor-mounted air conditioning unit
Yeah.
already to cool it because of the high ceiling. But there's so much light. And you know, Rian, since we're already here at the east wing of the property, kasi di ba west wing yung
Oh,
harap,
right, yeah.
that's why you have these large windows here on the other side, because you have the morning sun coming in here.
You know, every side of the room, there's something beautiful to look at. You look up, it's gorgeous. There's that accent wall here. The windows are huge. They found a way to put windows until the very top, but without
Yes.
making it like difficult to open and close
Yes.
because it's cut.
Yes, and just to add, for the screens, they even have built-in accordion screens here. Para talagang, if you want to open this up and then have that ventilation, but you know, no mosquitoes or what, you can have this open and
I
then
feel like Excalibur builders think of everything.
So, Sergio Sehuco, the builder of this home, was so excited to show me actually this particular room because he personally designed even the ceiling and then the wall design for this room because he wanted it to be really the showcase room for the entire house.
Yeah.
And but personally, I feel that the room still feels so livable. Like because sometimes it's so big that you feel out of place. But for this, the moment you have a bed here,
Yeah.
and I can imagine having even like a work desk in this side, it feels so cool but bright and Basta ang ganda, guys.
You could have a bed and then like a small couch at the foot of the bed,
Yes,
maybe
exactly.
a rug or something like that.
There's enough space for an additional sofa in front of your, even a California king-size bed. But on top of that, you once again have the lighting automation for this entire space with the aircon. But now we have, complementary to the master bedroom, you have a grand walk-in closet space.
I love a good walk-in closet. Guys, there is really a strong wow factor with having a staircase in your walk-in closet.
So what do you think of this room? So I'll walk in.
Well, okay, so definite wow factor. Really like cleanly done, diba? Parang there's so much storage space, but it's all like really cleanly done. You can put your things away and it still can look kind of minimalist. And I love how much they made use of
The space,
every
right?
single space here, because it's not just this staircase, guys, but you have this little one too. Every amount of space that they could have
Na-maximize,
put.
diba?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And of course, they have your full-length mirror here on one side.
You
and
need that.
your full bath space.
Ooh. With a couple sink, of course.
You have a dual vanity sink space, a large bath area, of course, Hans Grohe for everything, Toto for the sinks and the water closet. And you have this very luxurious and relaxing bathtub space. And if you check this out, Rian, they made sure to have a different tile
yeah.
texture for this side.
Nice.
But they made it a similar tone.
Yeah.
But you see the lighting, how the lighting accentuates.
Yeah, like you can see the shadows,
yung
so you can see
ridges
the
niya.
texture
Yeah.
because of the lighting.
And of course, you see the high ceiling, of course, of the entire space.
Even if it's 2 floors, you still have a high ceiling down here. Amazing.
Yes, because this is more than 4 meters yung master bedroom area. And of course, you have your dresser space here.
Of course, I needed to see that.
And Rian, check out the closet space. Oh.
Oh, nice how everything is like well lit, even if it's just like this little sub-level, diba? Parang it's also lit.
I can
May
imagine
highlight.
having like a bag there.
Yeah.
Talagang premium storage. And look, even the handles are custom made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these were
Wow.
custom made for this. So, and look, even the back area, hindi to yung wall. Talagang
Yeah.
they made sure to have material here. So talagang small things like that.
Really paid attention to every detail.
And of course,
Si Excalibur Builders.
yes, Sergio Suco, the builder, really prides himself in these small details. Even when he was briefing me, talagang he was going through all these details, even that handle talaga.
Yeah.
So that's important because you want someone passionate about building houses, diba?
Exactly. They
So-
want you to think about all the things that you, as the person living in the home, would experience.
Exactly.
Oh, can I ask, is this another sensor?
Yes. So this is just like what we have in the main staircase. So you don't have to take time to turn on and off the sensors because sometimes you forget about these small things. So that's added convenience. It's also safety.
Yeah.
Para, kasi sometimes nakakalimutan mo, di ba? Pero because may sensor na lang, it turns off pag wala nang tao dumadaan.
Good.
And now we're here in your walk-in closet space.
Windows. Ah, ang sarap naman ipuno nito ng clothes. There's so much closet space.
So if you remember, we have a loft area in the last room, right? So basically they have, because of the same level of the ceiling height, they maximize the space by having such a high ceiling for the master bedroom area and
Yeah.
then maximizing the space naman dito for an additional closet area. And the cabinetry wraps around even to the other end of the space.
Yeah. It's, you know what? I'm overwhelmed with how much closet space there is here. Like, it reminds me of the movie The Great Gatsby. When they're like throwing the clothes over. Kasi dun ko lang din nakita yung 2 floors na closet space. But I'm thinking like you can put a seating
Yes.
area here.
Like for your shoes or what, diba?
Or, yeah.
So pag nag-fitting ka dito, and even potentially make this like a full-length mirror here dito sa taas, diba?
Yeah.
So, and because of the space, they needed to have 2 split-type air conditioning units for the space.
Right.
Para talagang, kasi I think, can you envision yourself like staying a little while dito sa taas, diba?
I can.
So, yun, for the convenience rin of whoever's going to be staying in this home. Okay? Let's go.
Gorgeous. You know, the height talaga of the room adds so much because it's such a huge wow factor to have ceilings this high, and you already know we're on the
Yes.
2nd floor.
Yes,
And then to have 2 levels of 1 closet.
I feel like we went to 4 different properties because of the different character of the rooms, diba?
Yeah, and parang I can't imagine myself leaving my house anymore. If I lived here, parang everything's here na.
I think that's part of the design also, but I think that might be further reinforced once you see what's at the 3rd floor.
Ooh.
Here we go, guys.
Ooh! What? Is this another kitchen? What is this?
This entire space is an additional entertainment area.
Yeah.
This is an additional amenity space. It's divided into 2 areas. This can be a lounge space. You see, this is where you can have a television set and then additional storage. Diba? This is like a loft unit in a way rin. And then, ang ganda nga niyang work from home space eh. And then you have this entire kitchenette area. And then, imagine having a breakfast nook here at the 3rd floor
Yeah.
pa. Imagine having a table here.
You know, this really makes sense because in the house that I grew up in, we renovated the attic to become my bedroom because like when I went into show business, my clothes were just like falling out of my room already. It wasn't enough space. When I got to the 3rd floor, I realized ang layo ng kusina. Like sometimes you're just thirsty and then you're like, hindi, okay lang, I'll go to sleep na lang. Because it's just so far and tinatamad ka na. But I mean,
Yeah.
kailangan nga naman.
Well, in terms of plumbing rin, nandito na lahat ng provisions. You have a full sink talaga dyan. If you want to have even a burner stove here, pwede pa rin ma-accommodate. And this space is of course where you can have your refrigerator.
I love that.
So,
What a great space to entertain. Like, you can watch a movie here, you can put a billiards table there.
yeah, and especially in the evenings, when all the other lights are off and then you only have these lights on, dun talaga lumalabas yung warmth nung natural wood ceiling. Talagang kulang na lang talaga is that wide screen. You could, another idea is you can have a projector pa.
Pwede. There
Kasi
is
this-
enough space for it.
Oh, this is like a massive projector wall, pwede. Or even the projectors na bago ngayon that are right here.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
And speaking of an entertainment space, of course, you need to have a bath area.
Ang laki
there.
naman ng bathroom. Wow.
Yeah, so you saw the slow open, di ba?
Yeah, and it's so nice and deep.
Yeah. So talagang full bath area na
Yeah.
talaga siya eh. And it has a different vibe also, di ba? Yung ibang bathrooms, parang lighter yung ano niya, tile.
Yeah.
Eto parang it has that very cool vibe that blends well with the very relaxed feeling of this space.
There's a mildly more masculine vibe in this third floor area. Parang
Yeah.
this is where I would store the husband. Store talaga.
So,
The husband is stored upstairs.
kasi, yeah, if we're like for a man cave or like a study,
Yeah.
this is also excellent kasi talagang ano to eh, this can be a great work desk area eh.
Could be.
Pwede nga if you have for example a Zoom meeting, imagine you have this great background, 'di ba? Tapos just sa likod you have like a TV or even like if you're not into making this an entertainment space, you could have a work of art dito. So many things to think about. And
There's so much you could do with this space because everything is here na din eh.
Yeah. This is one of the most unique and one of my favorite parts of the house. And you have that slightly slanted ceiling as
Yeah.
well. So,
I like that. I like
Okay.
the slant.
and functionality-wise, every area was maximized. So they have a storage room here. So, yeah. So this is what you call storage in terms of the size. Ang laki niya. So,
Guys, it's so important to have a room that's just for storage because if you don't have that, one of your other rooms in the house will become the room of shame.
nandun lahat ng clothes, dun lahat nakapile up.
The tambak.
Yes, so this can be like a linen closet room. If you want, you can even make this a wine chiller room nga eh. You can even divide this into 2 parts pa nga eh.
For those of you that are collectors of anything, you might want to keep your
You have a
collection.
3rd floor wine cellar. So this is the 6th room in the house. And the nice thing about this is this really puts and brings together all the elements of the home. So let's take a look here.
Here?
The 6th room. This is your entertainment room and gym room.
Ooh! Oh wow! It's so bright here. Gym room?
Yes. And you'll see why a little later because this entire area you can maximize this as an exercise space.
Yeah.
Look at this massive window.
I love
If
it.
you have a treadmill here,
Yeah.
di ba you can imagine having a great view. Just to let you know guys, yung harap ng house, there is no 3rd level home in front of the house, so you have a clear view.
You
So
can see the sky and everything.
Yes,
the
and you have
trees.
exactly, you have a lot of privacy.
Yeah.
Kasi sometimes you have a beautiful 3-level home, and then right beside you, there is another beautiful.
You can see them, but they can't see you.
Yes, di ba? So parang you're going about your business, pagtingin mo may nakatingin din sa'yo kumakawin. So you don't have.
That's not an issue here.
Yes. And look, you have these exposed I-beams. You were talking about like a more masculine feel.
Yeah.
Di ba? Mas industrial na talaga yung feel nitong space na to eh. And of course, you have a built-in closet space. And of course, your aircon already. And yeah, so other than a gym room or an entertainment room, like Rian, how about you? How do you think you can maximize this space also?
You know what? I would probably use it as some kind of like a studio or something like that. Like have some backdrops coming out here because you get so much light that you can opt to just use it as natural light or you can light it at night.
Okay. And you can have an instant photo shoot because of the natural light eh. Kasi pag ganyan ang ayos-ayos eh, di ba guys? So, and if you're wondering why we have the storage out here instead of inside the room and why we call this also potentially a gym room, I'll show you now. You have a sauna.
That's like a dream for me. I've always, like since my childhood, I've always wanted a sauna.
Yeah.
Can I go inside?
Yes. So talagang may
Ako
light
gusto pumasok.
Go, go. It can sit 3 people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring my heels in.
So, yeah. Gosh.
Guys, I've always wanted a sauna. This is so cool.
It can very comfortably fit 3 people, you see.
Yeah.
And this is from Finland, and it's made from pine wood. I was saying the smell, it smells like a Swiss ski resort.
Yeah. It smells like Christmas in here.
Yeah, so talagang very comfy, and
It'll fit 3 people in there without it getting awkward.
so I'll just close. And then of course, since this is going to be a sauna area, they made sure to have a PVC ceiling here instead of like a wooden ceiling, so that the moisture won't affect the ceiling space.
Very
Pag
smart
synthetic yung
and well
materials.
thought out.
Yes. So that's why it's a gym room.
Tama, dapat naman.
Diba? Imagine treadmill, and then you go up, you have your sauna, and then after that, of course, one of the best parts of the house, you have your outdoor recreational space in your roof deck.
Wow, I love this space.
Welcome to the roof deck.
When can we throw a barbecue here?
Well, anytime. Hopefully for the person who is going to purchase this home, hopefully you can invite us. They even have a plug already built into the wall here, so you can use this as an outdoor workstation space, because you know, Rian, we stayed here for just a few moments a few days ago when it was sunset.
Yeah.
Grabe, sobrang, this is directly the line ng pagbaba ng sun.
Nice.
Right in front of the roof deck area. And the moment it hits mga 4:30, lalo na ngayon pa December, January, na sobrang lamig na niya.
Oh,
and ang
wow.
cool na dun sa space.
I
And
can feel nga, I mean, it's really sunny right now,
Oh.
but there is a nice breeze coming through this street, no?
Yes, and yung back pa ng house, dun yung east side. So in the mornings, you have the sun here. So if you want to have your morning exercise here,
Wonderful! You're
Like-
not in direct heat.
yes, yoga, like calisthenics, there's so much space here. Like for your entire family, pwede nga, diba?
Love it. Yeah.
And another thing in terms of privacy, ang maganda, the angle of this entire space, hindi ka kita from the street.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, people can see from the street if there's even someone here sa taas, which is very important. You can maximize this space all day.
Sunbathing.
It's up to you. And another idea is you can have an outdoor jacuzzi here,
Ooh,
right?
that's a good idea. Yeah, so you have the jacuzzi,
And then the sauna.
the sauna, and then the gym.
So, talagang all in one. Sabi ko nga, I can potentially stay in this 3rd level for a month. Especially if you have a refrigerator already.
I would never ever leave home, guys. Actually, I would never go downstairs once the fridge is there and everything.
Yeah.
Sarap.
Tapos may stove ka na lang doon, and you can have a barbecue area pa dito sa labas, diba? So,
Amazing.
okay, so there, we hope that you enjoyed this area, and now we're gonna head back in towards the hallway. Let's go.
Fully covered in this AstroTurf also. No?
Yes, so talagang ano siya. And it has a very calming feel as well. So, let's go through this area. Here, we have another access towards the hallway in the 3rd level.
I love how they always give you options from the outdoor areas, no?
The whole area is so functional. It's so easy to go from one area to another. You have a sprawling entertainment space here that leads to your sprawling roof deck area, and talagang it ties the entire property together, right?
Absolutely. I feel like this property is just so complete. There's like not a part that Excalibur Builders didn't think about. Like, even from the entertaining space to the privacy, you get the best of both worlds, and then you also have like the beautiful architectural features, but
Yes.
also safety.
Yes. Okay, so let's test out, of course, this feature, the 3-level elevator. So this can fit about 2 to 3 people, and size-wise for wheelchair access, it's also a fit.
Kasha. Nice.
Okay. And they even have the flooring pa for it. And glass.
See ya! Wow!
And we're back!
Wala na, I want an elevator in my house now.
Okay, so we're back here in the main living space, and I think, Rian, it's time for us to have a quick chat with Sergio Sihuco, the president of Excalibur Builders, who built this wonderful home.
I can't wait. I have so many compliments to give.
Let's go.
Yes. Well, my favorite part in building this house was actually materializing the concept. Because whenever we start building a house, we have a concept phase where we plot out the layout, then we do the structural, the plumbing, electrical, then we do the interiors. So it's really challenging to come up with these beautiful renderings and actually make those materialize. So that was a challenging part in building this house. So we
This is because as I was walking around, I felt like it was almost a resort-like vibe, just because of like all the sunlight and open spaces and lots of greenery. So would you say that this is your style, or do you do many different?
Well, you did read my mind. My concept for this house was to make it like a luxurious resort home. So that is what I envisioned the theme of this house to be. And also this house was built during the height of the pandemic. So we did a lot of upgrades during this house, and when I saw certain things, certain trends, like home gyms, home theaters, home spas, I incorporated those ideas into this house. That's why in the third floor, there's space for a gym, there's a sauna, there's a roof deck, there's a family/movie room. So there's also a home office in bedroom 3. So these are the upgrades I added to this house because of what I learned from the pandemic. Yes, that is what I envisioned that to be, yes. So let's say there's a yuppie or young professional working here, he could always go up those stairs and use it. Correct, yes. I think my job is done because I really built this house to be a self-sufficient home such that you don't really need to leave.
I love that term, self-sufficient.
Yes, self-sufficient. You have all the amenities you need that you can find outside in this house. So you have a pool, you have waterfalls, You have a vertical garden, you have a roof deck, you have a gym, you have a grandmaster's bedroom, you have a office, you have a den, you have an elevator. So what else?
Yeah, no, I can think of,
So-
I can think
Correct, yes. Well, we have decent parking. It's a 6-car garage with with an automatic gate. So yes, Jake, because you're right. Because all the bedrooms, all the rooms here, can be converted into bedrooms, like the den, the entertainment room on the third floor, the gym room. They all have their own ensuite toilet and bath. They have their own cabinetry. So, it's up to the future owners' creativity and what they want to convert these rooms to be. So they're all very multifunctional. No, you won't. You'll have you will never have a scarcity of bathrooms in this house. Four, five, six. Yeah, correct. Yes. Yeah, correct. Well, Jake, like what I said, this home was built during the height of the pandemic. So there were a lot of things that I saw that people wanted in their homes. So let's say a gym, like these waterfalls. It adds some character to the house. And the entertainment room, I made it bigger. I put an area there where you can actually cook simple things. In fact, one of my current clients saw the concept, and now she wants the same thing done in her home. So, yes, definitely, yes. And oh yeah, the lighting. So yes, so I think you went over this, but these are special lights such that, like what you said, you could change the color from daylight to warm white, and we have these smart LED panels which you could program in 6 different configurations. So let's say you press button number 1, it switches off all the light. Button number 2 will switch on all the light. Let's say button number 3 will just on the mood lighting. So it's very convenient for the would-be co-owner of this house. Yes, yes. So that's the first time I've seen that. So correct. I thought about that for the elderly people who may occupy this house. So let's say they come home at night and let's say they forget to turn on the switch. So as they pass the sensor, everything will go on. So Actually, Jake, I purposely put these vertical gardens because, as you know, we don't have space for a garden anymore since we maximize the footprint of the home. So although we have a open roof deck on top, when I saw the structure coming into shape, it's like, oh no, we don't have a garden. So, like in Singapore, since the cuts are so small, they build vertically. So, I kind of made the same concept for this house. And adding to the wood, I really purposely put high-end solid Nair for almost all the ceilings because I read in a study that looking at wood, natural wood, has like this calming effect on people. So, yes. No, really. Yeah, so which is why the eaves are decked in solid Tangida. The ceilings here are all solid Nara with Canadian pine wood here. So, yeah, to get that organic, natural, yes. Actually, you can smell that in the you can smell that scent in the sauna. Yes.
It's like Christmas in pine.
Yeah, so you can smell it in the sauna. No, you actually from that you go to the balcony, and you could get a tan there. So you could, yes, you could. You could. You could.
Home that's at your level.
Oh yes,
and you
correct.
can't see it
Yes,
from the street.
correct. And it's the highest house on the block. So, how do I say this? No one's looking down on you. Yes. So that's
Literally, no one's looking down.
no. That's one thing to consider all the time.
Yeah.
When we build, you first look at the neighbors, then you design the layout. So. Well, for 2022, we have evolved our designs. They're still modern, but I've changed certain areas because every project always teaches me things where I could have done something better. My clients always teach me where I could and still could improve. So all these I always factor in when I build again. So we have five more projects to finish and 5 more to start. So it's pretty challenging, but the work is rewarding. So. That's a very good comment, Rian, because whenever my clients ask me, like when they first call me and say, why should I choose you? I always tell them because I take it personal and it's not just a business to me. I take this personally and I do things, I go beyond the call of duty to get that wow factor for my clients. And so far, they're happy.
That's great to hear.
So far, they're happy.
I really did feel a personal touch.
Yes.
To every little
That personal extra mile that me and my team go through to make all our customers elated. Yeah, because Jake didn't, when this was still in the civil works phase, and I showed Jake, and I said, oh, what do you think about it? He was like, well, you know, so. And I said, you have to trust me, it's gonna look nice. He goes, well, let's see. So 8 months later, I think you're and that's what we deliver, the best.
That's why
Thank you, Jake. I can sleep here now, honestly. I'm really sleepy. Correct, Jake, yes. It's the best home we built this year.
so far.
So far, yes. Although we have more homes coming up next year, which you will feature again. So, but yes, this is the one that's gonna cap it for 2021.
In this flagship home. So
Well said, Jake. Yes, well said. Yes, you read everything in my mind.
okay, so I think that wraps up our video. Thank you so much, Sergio.
No, thank you, Jake. Thank you, Riam. I hope you enjoyed my home. Well, not mine, but whoever it's gonna go to. You're welcome.
And
Bye. Okay,
guys.
bye.
Contact us today in the email and number shown here to schedule a property viewing. You can also click the description below for the property details. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to bringing you and your family a great Metro Manila home.